Welcome. Today we're going to learn how to conjugate regular AR, ER, and IR verbs in the present tense. In order to do this, we first need to look at subject pronouns. Subject pronouns are the basis for conjugating verbs. They tell you to which form you need to conjugate them. For example, we have up here in the top left, yo. Yo stands for I. To in the middle stands for you. He or she is L or ella. The usted stands for you formal, which means that you would use it as if you're talking to a stranger or to someone in a higher authority. Nosotros stands for we. We're going to skip the vosotros for this point in time. Ellos and ellas stand for they, and ustedes stand for you all. Now, the reason why we use this verb conjugation chart is because it lays it out perfectly of which person we're going to conjugate the verb to. For example, if you look on the left-hand side here, yo, to, and el or ella, and the you formal, usted, are all talking about one person. Therefore, we can classify that the left side of this chart is singular. So anytime you're talking about one person or one thing, it'll be on the left-hand side, being singular. Anytime you talk about more than one person, it'll be on the right side, the plural side, because we have we and they and you all. We also can classify this by rows. In the first one, we have I and we. Now, both of those include yourself. So we can call this row talking about the first person. In the second row, we have to, which means you. So therefore, when you're talking to somebody else, that is considered the second person. In the bottom, we have he or she, they, you all. Those are all talking about other people that are not around you at this point. So therefore, it's talking about someone other than yourself or the person you are talking to. So therefore, we can classify that as the third person. Also, in addition to people, the third person can also be used for objects. So anytime you're talking about sports, or you're talking about a ball, a computer, a microwave, a fan, you'll be using the third person. So now, on to conjugating regular AR verbs. So, in order to conjugate the verbs, we're first going to make our verb conjugation chart. Now, we're going to use a very common AR verb in order to demonstrate this. The verb is hablar. Hablar means to talk or to speak. Now, in order to conjugate verbs, the first step that you're going to do is you're going to cross off the AR. And then you're going to replace it with one of our endings that we're going to put on the left-hand side here. Now, for the yo form, you'll put an O. For the to form, you'll put an AS. For the he or she form, and usted, you'll put an A. For the nosotros, we'll put an amos. We won't do the vosotros at this point in time. And for the ellos or ellas or the ustedes, you put an AN, on. So, if you want to say, I speak, yo hablo. You speak, tú hablas. He or she speaks, él or ella habla. We speak, nosotros hablamos. They speak, ellos hablan. And that is how you're going to conjugate AR verbs. Now let's use these in actual sentences. Now, when we talk about the present tense, we're talking about things that are occurring right now. So our first sentence that we're going to want to talk about is, we are cleaning the house. We are cleaning it right at this point in time, so therefore it is the present tense. So, the first thing we need to have is we. We know we from our subject pronouns is nosotros, so you write that one first. Nosotros are cleaning. Okay, the verb to clean is limpiar. So therefore, if we have limpiar, first step, take off the AR and we'll add the correct ending, which we know the nosotros is in the top right hand corner of this chart, so therefore this top right hand corner corresponds to the subject pronouns. Therefore we know that we ending is amos. So therefore it would be nosotros limpiamos la casa. We are cleaning the house. Next example we were learned to do is Jake uses a pencil every day. So first off, we're going to start with Jake. Now we need to conjugate the verb usar. So first step, cross off the AR, which leaves us with US. Then we need to figure out what ending we're going to use with this. So going back to our subject pronouns, we can look up here, and Jake is talking about a third person, about a person. It's a guy. He's a he. So therefore we can use this bottom left he or she form. So Jake usa un lápiz cada día. Okay, we'll go to two more examples here, and then we'll move on to ER verbs. So, the next example we want to do is, what do you need for class? So, when you're writing a question, it just comes a little bit different. You have to put that upside down question mark at the beginning. We know the word for what is K. So, start there. You need. So now we need to figure out how to conjugate the verb necesitar. So once again, our first step, cross off the AR, and then we look up here, and we know the U form is to. So therefore, it's in the middle, so therefore we need the middle ending, which is AS. So, que necesitas para la clase. Final one, we'll do I walk in the park. So the first step, we know we look back up at our subject pronouns, I equals yo. So therefore, we'll start off with yo. To walk is the verb caminar. So we'll cross off the AR. We'll once again look back up at our subject pronouns. The yo is in the top left, therefore we need the yo form of this one, so it's an O. So yo camino en el parque. And that is how you conjugate AR verbs. Now we'll move on to ER verbs.